Hey, Kayla, what'd I say? You need to chill. What's up, Nick? Friday afternoon here in Houston. About to hit up deadlifts here in about an hour or so. Figured I'd get on here and answer a few questions if you guys have any. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, at SwimHack, that's my username. Hope you guys had a chance to take a look at my last couple recaps. Got one coming after today. I will do my voiceover for this week's training, week 16, I believe. Make sure that's right. Pretty sure, yeah, week 16. So today I've got 650 deadlift for two, then a bunch of accessories, drop down stuff. So I will be posting that up probably tomorrow, no later than Sunday. And the next week we're going on. We're going to change up the bench press just a little bit, and we're going to do some heavy 200-pound dumbbells, which I've been kind of excited to do. I've never done those. Nick, yes, I am a swimmer through and through. I started swimming back when I was about 14. I'm 37 now. I swam competitively from 14 until 25. I took about a 2-year hiatus. I thought I was be done with swimming, and I needed to lose a little bit of weight. So I went back to swimming, got caught a little bit, and went back and competed in the 2008 Masters Nationals and won first place in a few different events. So yes, definitely experienced as a swimmer, and I'm sure I will go back to swimming. I don't know about competitively. I'm sure at some capacity. I don't really like to do sports without being competitive. And swimming, obviously is great for fitness, but I've always been the type to compete in whatever I do. So I'm sure I'll go back to swimming at some point in time, maybe even as a powerlifter just for the fun of it. But I'm always training for a meet, so it's tough or training for a powerlifting meet. So it's tough to go and change gears and put enough time in the water to be a good swimmer right now. So I'm sure I'll have to wait until some of these goals in powerlifting are met. See, do I think reversed banded bench will help me as an intermediate lifter? Reverse banded bench can help anybody pretty much at any level. It just depends on what you need help with the bench. I assume that you're wanting to do banded bench because you know the benefits of it. So I'm just going to go off of that assumption. Let me know if that's not the case. If you're just doing it because somebody said to do it and you don't understand what the benefits are, then I would not do it. But banded bench, the bands coming down, and actually they're going to assist with the weight when it's closer to your chest. So it actually will help that bottom, it'll help you be able to have more weight at the bottom. And you're going to lose that tension as you press the bar upward. So your lockout's going to work your lockout with more weight, basically. The other way, of course, is banded bench, where it's just the opposite. And actually, it doesn't really make it any harder for any particular part of the lift, because when I do banded bench, when I actually have it from the bottom up, and I'm pressing against the bands, it just gives me a steady flow of tension the whole time. Now, obviously, as I get further and further away or stretch the bands more, I'm going to get more resistance from that band. Obviously, the reverse being you're getting more assistance from the band. But those are all tools to help you get your sticking points and work the range of motion a little bit more with more weight or less weight than maybe you could do normally. Um, I like I don't really do a lot of reverse banded bench because there's other ways you can work that as well. But I do a lot of banded bench, and I enjoy that. It's as masochistic as it sounds. I like that full constant tension, and especially because my lockout is extremely strong. I want to challenge myself through the whole range of motion, through the whole band of strength. So where I'm weakest, maybe in the middle, I'm starting to hit those bands, which makes me work harder to push against the bands and accelerate. By the time I get to the top, I've got so much resistance that's built up that it's able to really challenge my lockout. So I like that a lot. So it's kind of slow on here. I get it. It's Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock here in Central. So I'm sure a lot of people are still at work. Don't probably have a lot of people that are watching at work, unless you guys are at work. That's pretty cool if you are. Don't get in trouble. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing my deadlifts today, so I'm just kind of taking a little bit of a break, getting ready for the gym. Go in there and hit up my deadlift workout, my legs, a little bit of bicep work, and some lat work, and be done for the week. What's up, John? What training structure slash periodization did you use previously? In the past, I know you bench twice a week, squat twice, and deadlift once. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, actually, my split right now, and the way it's pretty much always been, I've always squatted once a week and deadlifted once a week. I used to bench twice a week. I would do a heavy bench typically on Monday, and then a couple days later, after maybe a squat day and an off day, I'll do another light bench day where I'll probably did dumbbells for the most part. I don't think I ever really did barbell more than once a week for bench. I did start training with Josh Bryant about 2 years or so ago, and his split had me doing bench twice a week on barbell, but it was like I would work up to a heavy set of maybe 5 to 8 or whatever the training called for that particular time on Monday. I'd take Tuesday off, and then I'd come in and do my squats, whatever those sets were. Wednesday, I would come in and do my. Actually, I'm sorry. I would come in Thursday. Tuesday would be my squat or off day. Wednesday would be my squat day or off day, depending on how I changed it up. Thursday, I would come in and do my light bench, and that would be maybe 60 to 70% of whatever I did the first bench day for maybe 3 sets of 3. So I'd still hit the chest. I'd still hit some pec work. I'd do some tricep work, some upper body, some shoulders. And then Friday, I would do my deadlifts. When we started working up into the 600s or getting close to it with training numbers, it was just too hard to recover from hitting 550 for a number of reps or 600 for a number of reps on Monday. Even if I took Tuesday off to recover my CNS a little bit and just muscles in general, hit my squat on Wednesday, I'm still pretty fried from Monday's bench day. Squat takes a little bit out of me, obviously. And then when I go in on Thursday, if I was to bench 405 for reps or even 450 pause reps, I'm just still too banged up, not only from squats, but from the Monday's workout. So I finally just said, you know what, we need to drop this to 1 day a week. And I think I'll get better results. So that was about a year and a half ago when we dropped off the second day of bench. I don't mean I don't go into the gym on the second day. It just means on that Thursday, it's just considered my life. I did the exact same things that I've always done, except where I take off the barbell bench. And if anything, we do some dumbbell bench, which has been something that we've added in lately, but not always. It's just a little bit of extra work for the pecs, mostly blood flow. Yesterday, I did 125 for like 30 reps. It was extremely easy. I didn't have any trouble with it. I didn't get sore. I'm not sore today from it. So it's just getting the blood. So it's bench on Mondays, heavy. Tuesday I take off. Wednesday is heavy squat. Thursday is light shoulders. I say it's light shoulders and lighter chest work with some triceps and things like that. Lower maybe some back, lats. And then Friday is my deadlift day. And that works perfect for me because I can basically do a 4-day split, fit it all in within 5 days, have a 2-day weekend to rest up 100%. And that's worked forever. So until that changes, I'm going to keep that split. I have a lot of guys that are on that same split for online coaching and even on my programs. Like the bench program is a 3-day split, but it's very similar in setup. A lot of them get a lot of extra rest, and it works quite well. But not everybody's the same. Some people need a little more volume. Some people need a little more, little less volume, a little more rest. But that's a general rule of thumb for anybody is just kind of try something out and see what works for you and see what kind of results you're getting after a few weeks and then tweak it for your own. All right. Ever try maxing out on strict curls for fun? You think you could do? I've never tried maxing out on strict curls. I know that I did like, I don't know, 135 for a set of reps one time when I was standing up against a wall with like an easy bar. I don't know if that's considered a strict curl necessarily, but I've never tried maxing out with it. No. Think you're the best. Let's see, Anthony, what do you think are the best exercises to help you in the middle of your bench press? Hands down, dead press. Look up dead press or pin presses. Those are really, really good. Obviously, you need to work on your speed off of your chest because if you can accelerate through that point, that sticking point won't be perceived as a sticking point as much. Obviously, you have a weakness somewhere in there in the middle or right at the bottom of your chest. And when you're firing off, you're either not firing off fast enough or the muscles that are supposed to take over, like transition into your triceps, there's a breakdown there. So work that weakness. Literally put the bar, like on a dead press, put the bar about an inch below wherever you think your sticking point is. So maybe if you're 5 inches up, put the bar at 4 inches on a dead press setup and work on singles like that as heavy as you can get without hurting yourself, obviously. Those have helped me tremendously. Do flies, do a lot of rows, do back, because that will help you with your explosion off your chest. How often do I swim? I don't swim very much now. I try to get in at least once or twice a week if I can, but it really just depends on how tired I am or how the schedule is, but not as much as I would like, definitely. Thoughts on the strict press? Any use in helping develop the bench? Elaborate on that a little bit more. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. I'll skip that and come back when you answer. Oh, yeah. You bet, John. Do you think that I can build my deadlift while pulling once every 2 weeks, but hammering my squat work? Yeah, I think so. It's up to what you can progress with. Obviously, you'll know if when you're doing it, if that works for you. I know with me, I could probably get away with doing the lift. I'm sorry, doing deadlift only once every 2 weeks, but I would still want to do the movement lighter version once every week. So like when we get closer to the meet, we'll actually alternate. I say we, meaning Coach Bryant and I, Josh Bryant. We will have a heavy squat day 1 week and a lighter deadlift day that same week. Then the next week we'll have a lighter squat day, and I mean by lighter meaning, let's say I go 650 on deadlift this week. Next week I might go 650 on squat, but then on deadlift next week I go like 500 for reps. So when we alternate heavy squat and deadlift, it gives me a chance to really still work my legs, but to have energy for that next week. Bench press doesn't affect me too much because obviously I'm only hitting that once a week. But squat and deadlift work go hand in hand. You're working your legs. You're really working on your drive. Why did my chat disappear? Here we go. Let's see. I have shoulder impingement, very mild inflammation sometimes. How can I fix this? I have rounded shoulders. Well, I will tell you, that I actually have, I wouldn't say a shoulder impingement right now, but I do have an issue. Well, actually, the doctor I went to is saying that my anterior delt and my pec got a little scar tissue in there, which I'm not surprised. Obviously, I got a lot of stuff that goes on. It's not injury wise, but over time, just building up stuff, slight strains, maybe even slight tears that just don't get to the point that they're serious. Just building up scar tissue over time, so it just needs to be worked out. But my tricep head and into my side, my delts here. There's some soreness, and it was bothering me. I had a set for 555 for 3 on Monday, just one set of 3, and I actually I think it was a combination of things. I didn't warm up 100% the way I should have. I should have taken a smaller jump from my last warm up and taken one more rep, maybe at like 525 for 1 and then 555. But I went from 495 to 555 for 3. And I found out after doing the second rep, where obviously it wasn't quite warm and I had to strain a little bit to try to get that third rep. And my tricep just kind of gave out. It didn't really do anything crazy. It definitely did not want to press the weight. And so I concerned me. I went to the doctor, had him check it out. But I was obviously concerned about shoulder impingement, rotator cuff, and all the stuff that I do to protect my shoulders and all the questions that I get about my shoulders. Obviously, I'm concerned, but I put my money where my mouth is. When I don't know what's wrong with something, I go to the doctor, regardless of what the cost is. Because at the end of the day, if I make it worse, now I got to go pay for a $10,000 surgery or whatever it is, or be out for the season, or be out for whatever. Who knows if it tears? So you got to realize, don't drive a Ferrari if you can't afford the maintenance. So don't think that you're going to be able to bench big all the time and have big numbers and be super strong and be the strongest in the world if you're not going to have maintenance. You got to take care of the maintenance. And when serious stuff happens or potential serious stuff happens, you can't go driving on a flat tire because you're going to ruin the rim. And if you ruin the rim, then you're going to ruin the transmission because you're going to bottom the car out. I mean, you're a machine. You got to take care of yourself. But as far as impingements, I would say, we want to have it checked out. But I know what's helping me is if I lay on a lacrosse ball and I just put a lot of pressure into whatever hurts, you'll find those little pressure points, and just rubbing them out makes it feel really good. And it actually loosens some stuff up in there. It doesn't happen overnight, but I know just doing that on my own time has definitely alleviated some of the pain. And it's helped me, it doesn't hurt on shoulder days, things like that. But shoulders are really weird. If it's not something serious or it's in the joint, if it's just inflammation, icing and heating, stretching, light dumbbell work, even you can do barbell work, but I've kind of switched over to dumbbells just temporarily to get things fixed up to not make it worse. But shoulders are those very complicated things on your neck, below your neck that on your neck that if they go bad, you're going to have a serious issue. So take care of that. Take care of your impingements. And more than likely, it's just inflammation, and you just got to let it die down. I take the NSAIDs like Aleve. Nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely no bullshit proof about not causing gains and all that crap. If you're not overdoing it, then you're fine. Take it what the label says, and get some sleep, get some rest, get some good food in you, and you'll be fine. Let's see. Any advice on working towards your bench press while dealing with shoulder pain? I kind of hit on it just now. Take care of the shoulders, definitely. If your shoulders are in pain while you're benching, then don't do it. I mean, flat out. I shut down my bench set on Monday, and I didn't do any more bench press because my shoulders were messing with me. I would rather live to fight another day. Now, if it lasts, like you're saying, the shoulder pain for a year, I would go see a doctor. I mean, I hate that has to be the answer, and that sucks for most people because that's not always what you want to do. But you need to know what's going on in your shoulders, and nobody can diagnose that but a doctor. They need to do X-ray and MRI, figure out what's going on to tell you the proper course of action on that. Should I do bicep work? Well, you should always work on biceps if you're working on triceps. If you're thinking about bench press, you want to have even strength on both as a stabilizer, and obviously biceps play their role as well. Oh, okay, I got you. No, I do not train the strict press very often at all. I don't even train it. Um, no, I can't tell you that I've had any notice in that because I don't have it in my training. Awesome channel. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. The Padre Roberto, would you say closer bench is better? I'm weaker, closer than wide. Like I've said many, many times, your grip is really personal preference. If you find that you're stronger one way or the other, then keep at that as long as you stay relatively injury free. And it's not a grip issue or your distance that's impeding you to get better. Um, I find that I like my joints stacked and that I can really get a stable press and I can make great progress. The bad part is if I somehow or another am a little bit slow off the chest, the triceps aren't going to kick in fast enough. So that's one downfall is as long as I have explosion off my chest and I can get the bar into my triceps, I can pretty much take care of the bar. But the same thing goes with wide grip. If you're super wide, you might get a freaking enormous blast off the chest. But if you're a little bit too wide, your triceps can't get the right leverages. You won't be able to lock it out. Um, it really is a personal preference. I've done it because it feels good for me. I've obviously been able to do my best lifts, my heaviest lifts at a closer grip. I noticed that when I go wider, my pecs are definitely involved more. I may be able to build bigger pecs if I go wider, if I do slower bench, but that's not what I'm in the sport for. I'm in the sport to put the best number up that I can, and this is what I'm doing right now. All right, I'm benching every other day, and days I'm not benching, I'm doing back. Is this good for 1 to 2 months to get my bench up? If you're getting results out of it, then keep doing it. Benching every other day, I think, is too much. For me personally, I wouldn't do that only because I would have to drop the weight of the bench that I'm working with um, in order to facilitate adding in more days. So, like I said earlier, I bench once heavy a week. That's as much as I can do because if I bench heavier more, like let's say I bench heavy on Monday, if I bench in between Monday and the next Monday heavy again, it's going to throw me off. And that means I got to push the next Monday back. So I can't bench more than once a week heavy because it impedes my progress. Now, if you're benching for reps, that's a whole different thing. But I bench quite heavy for strength related purposes. Would you recommend pausing each rep overhead press? Uh, no, not necessarily. I mean, pausing, obviously, time under tension is one thing, but overhead press is definitely one of those weird, you can get yourself into a pretty precarious situation with overhead press. I wouldn't pause any longer than you need to change directions. I definitely would stay tight, and it can look like a pause, but I wouldn't necessarily stop and pause. Now, I'm assuming you're asking in a general scheme of things, not necessarily for carryover to bench press, because pausing bench really is just for pausing bench. Pausing other things doesn't really carry over directly to pause bench. Have I ever climbed up a mountain? No. Currently no. I am not in a surplus right now. I probably No, I don't gain any weight. I eat pretty much just what I'm actually trying to eat a little bit in a surplus, but it's tough because my volume is a lot. I don't really want to stomach a lot of food. I am not concerned about gaining weight as much as I am about keeping strength and gaining strength. If I need to eat more in order to feel better from a workout, I will. But I'm not one of the type of people who is going to go, oh, I got to gain 30 pounds for this next meet. Because let's face it, I can gain 30 pounds, but I'm not going to gain 30 pounds of muscle that is usable in the next 8 weeks. It's just not going to be there. So I'm just going to literally weigh 30 more pounds. There's no carryover to my strength. There's no carryover to my leverages because now I haven't been able to train for long enough to use those new leverages. So it'd be literally like putting on a fat suit the day of the meet and saying, "Oh, I weighed in at 30 more pounds." that doesn't do anything for me. So Jared, no, yes, I have tried strict curls before. Yes. Saying earlier, somebody's asking me what my max was on that. I have no idea. I've never really gone for a max, not with strict. I mean, obviously curls, I've done like 225, but not strict. But strict, I've done like 135 for 5 or some reps. All right. Oh, shameless plug, by the way, if you guys just tuning in. If you're not on Instagram, or if you are and you haven't been following me, I put a lot of good stuff over there at SwimHack, same as my YouTube. Find me over there. Also, I haven't taken it down yet. I really need to, but since you guys are tuning in, if you guys are interested in a bench press program that has worked for hundreds and hundreds of guys and girls, I have got my 16-week bench program and my 24-week bench program still on sale because I'm lazy. No, I just haven't taken it down. So if you go there now, as soon as this feed's over, I'm going to the website. I'm taking it back. My normal 24-week program is $99. It's on sale right now for 4th of July for 20% off. And my 16-week is normally $75, and I've got it on sale right now for $60. And so those have been selling like hotcakes. I appreciate every one of you supported me and gotten that, and has started to build your bench up. Of course, my online coaching is always available. So if you guys need personalized, customized programming, video review, things like that, it's not in the program. It's definitely one-on-one through online. But go to benchonly.com and you can see all my information there. But basically, the 16 and the 24-week program are very similar. They both are a 3-day split. It includes a hypertrophy phase for 8 weeks and a strength phase for another 8 weeks. The 3-day split is typically 2 flat bench days and 1 shoulder day, complete with all the weights, the sets, the reps, everything you need, and it includes all the accessory work that you need. So everything but legs, basically, is included in this program. The 16-week program is exactly that. The 24-week program is the same thing. It's a 16-week program followed up by an 8-week peaking program. So the 16-week program takes you basically and builds you strength. It takes you about 5 reps or so. Well, obviously, if you guys are wanting to see how much you can max, well, if you've done, let's say, 225 for 5, you don't know what your true 1-rep max is. The 8-week peaking program, which is also sold separately, but in the 24-week program, it's included. It will take you all the way from that strength phase all the way through to your 1-rep max and finding out what your new 1-rep max is after the program. But hit me up on benchonly.com. You can go through there, order the bench program. It's like I said, it's on special for July 4th, even though it's like the 6th here. I just haven't taken it down. So if you guys want it, go get it now, because as soon as I turn this off, before I hit my deadlifts, I'm going to change it back, and it's going to go up about 20 to 30 bucks each. So, all right. All right. What is my opinion on routines that push high frequency benching? The best way to make progress benching 3 or more times a week. Have you ever benched at higher frequency? I have not benched at a higher frequency more than twice a week. I've known some guys that have gotten good benefits out of it, but most of them are not heavy benchers. They're not elite benchers, if you will. So they're not benching, let's say, 400 plus, depending on what your weight is. But to build that starting strength, that initial burst of energy out of the blocks when you're kind of a newbie at strength, sometimes you need to hit things more than once a week. I've got some weight loss clients that will do obviously cardio every day, but they will do kind of a full body, if you will, 3 times a week. So they'll hit a little bit of bench, a little bit of squat, a little bit of deadlift, kind of sprinkle throughout the week, but they'll hit all 3 lifts more than once a week, sometimes 3, and they get a lot of good results out of that. As soon as they turn over and they start to want to build a lot of strength, you need to have time in between your lifts to recover properly. And I think that doing it that high frequency for a long period of time is not beneficial for strength. Now, for hypertrophy, for breaking the muscle down, I think it's a great idea. But everybody has different results. It's not always the same. So, like I said, if you're doing it now, I'm not trying to push you away from it. Do it for a while, 8 weeks, see how you do, and then call it from there. your best friend may do the exact same thing and have horrible results, and you may have marvelous results. So this is all you got. Trial and error is really the key to all this. Absolutely. On the feedback, doing 5x5, paused, some dumbbell, incline, blowing my bench up right now. Later on, we'll have to change it up. I did 5x5 for a while. I've done 5x5. I've done like the 5-3-1, and I've gotten results from every single program that I've ever done. Some more than others, but you find a niche and you run with it as long as you can. When the 5x5 stops working, change it up. When the 5-3-1 stops working, change it up. Maybe go back to the 5x5. Maybe go to a customized program. Maybe go to there's so many different types of ways that you can train, and not one is right. It's what's right for you at this moment. Because 2 weeks from now, it's probably longer than that. It's probably 2 years from now. You may hit a plateau. You're going to need to change something up, change the scenery, change your source of motivation, change out who you're watching on YouTube. Just kidding. Just something. Change your diet slightly, your stresses in your life. Little things like that matter. And they sound cheesy to the novice lifter because if you don't feel like going in, you can just go in, whenever you want and just do kind of whatever you want. The Planet Fitness style, just sit there on the freaking fly machine and just work your shoulders and you can walk out of there. But for me to do something like that, having a goal in mind, I have a time frame for when I hit my goals. And so I can't just go in and play around in the gym and hope for the best. I have to literally set out a schedule and stick to it no matter what, unless it's, barring injury or something like that. And so everybody's at a different level. Some of you guys are just kind of wanting to be in shape. Some of you guys just want bigger arms. Some of you guys want bigger triceps. Some of you guys want to be the biggest dude in the room. Some of you guys care less. Some want the biggest bench. Some want the biggest deadlift. All these different aspects of it, there's just general information that I'm kind of giving out to you guys. Obviously, I'm biased towards powerlifting and towards strength, but there's a lot of guys who want just to be really, really lean and be able to rep 225 for as many reps as they can get. Front squats to build conventional deadlift. You're definitely going to build your quads. I wouldn't say it's like do front squats only to build your conventional deadlift. But it definitely can have some carryover because obviously you're building up muscles that you're going to be using in your deadlift. What vitamins do I take? I was going to show you, but they're over in the corner over there. I don't know if you can see that. That's my vitamin stack over there. That's all my animal products. And I take a few Vitamin Shop products, things like that. But I take a multivitamin. I take protein if I need it. I actually haven't taken a protein shake for about 6 weeks because I eat so much protein. I eat so much meat or fish or chicken. So I don't need the extra protein that a supplement would give me. But as you can see, drink plenty of water every day. I probably drink a gallon of water in some form or fashion, either flavored or just straight up water or tea. I drink sodas as well, but I don't sit there and down them all day long. I drink when I'm thirsty. But as far as vitamins are concerned, I take some taurine for back pump issues. I take turmeric, CQ10, CoQ10, and I take ZMAs to sleep. I take Flex, which is like a glucosamine chondroitin MSM for joints. And those are just to name a few, but pretty much everything that I don't think that I can get in food in a good supply, I will take as a vitamin. But it's not necessary if you can eat it all. I just know that some of the foods that I eat aren't going to have every single vitamin that I need. So, do you believe in training external rotation, rear delts, fly? Training, no. I would say more like recovery work. For example, and this will touch on earlier, I was mentioning it, not my shoulder necessarily. It's a shoulder a little bit, but it's not joint. It's definitely musculature. It's like maybe a ligament in here is just a little bit strained, and it's just causing me some issues when I raise my arm, when I sleep at night. But when I'm lifting, it doesn't bother me as much. It did bother me on Monday for bench, which concerned me. But yesterday, what I would do is, it wasn't in the programming, but I added it in as more of a recovery thing, is I did my front, which is my front raises, my side raises where I go straight out to the side, and then I bend over a little bit and I do rear delts. So I hit all the heads of the delt, and that felt really good. I didn't go heavy. I went like 20, 25 pounds on it. I didn't go for like max reps. I did 6 reps, 6 reps, 6 reps, rested for about 20, 30 seconds, then another set. and it got some good blood flow in there, which I think is absolutely crucial and key to repairing anything. You need to have blood flow in those shoulders. You need to have, you definitely want to flush it out, get some ice in there. Heat and ice kind of contrasting will help those impingements. If it's serious, go see a doctor. Can't stress that enough. My Andrew, appreciate being a fan. Thank you for that. Thanks for tuning in. My bench at 17 to 18 honestly was not that big. I was a swimmer, not a real little guy. Actually, I'll show you guys a picture because I took one the other day when I was at my mom's house, and I'll need to post it up. This is me not too long ago. Let's see if I can find a picture here. It is my freshman year. Not very good quality because the freaking camera, obviously, but that's me at about 160, 170 pounds. And I was probably benching at that point about 200. And I never really worried about bench again until I stopped swimming. That was 10 years later, or maybe 10 years ish. All right, let's see. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate you following me on Instagram. Yeah, at SwimHack, if you guys are not following me on Instagram. I also have a Facebook powerlifting page, but it's pretty much the same stuff I post on Instagram. So there's no reason to, you don't have to follow me in two different places if you don't want. Why don't you bench on your toes? I find leg drive is overrated. I'm going to say it straight up. Leg drive on bench is overrated. If you are worried about your leg drive, pick your legs up for a little while and see what you can do stabilizer wise. Because if you can't stabilize yourself without your legs, you're not set right. Now, obviously, if you get out of the groove and the weight throws you off, that's a whole different story. But if once you get the bar balanced on your shoulders, if you can't bench without your feet, then your setup is probably off. Now, when I put my legs down, I think about them more like the legs of a crane. If you guys have ever seen like these big trucks driving around, big old tires, and they got these cranes on them. Well, when they set up to go pick something up, they don't rely on the tires to hold them in place. They're going to be dealing with some heavy weight. The air in the tires is going to pop, whatever. So they have these metal arms that come down from the sides to grab onto the ground and stabilize. That's how I kind of think about my legs in bench press is I put them down. I'm already stable, but I want to make sure that I'm not going anywhere. And so I put my legs down. Now, the leg drive portion is literally just a tensing of the legs. It's not a drive necessarily. I'm not pushing through the floor as hard as I can because then my butt will come up. I'm basically thinking tense up my whole body so that I'm literally like a stone from head to toe. Everything is like just literally doesn't move. The only thing that's moving is my back and my arms, the pistons, and actually moving the weight. That's what I'm thinking about. That's my cue in my head is I'm literally just up, down, up, down, up, down, not side to side, not moving my head all around, not tapping my toes. It's just pressing the weight and literally thinking that from here up is literally a column of movement. Everything else goes away. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get something more out of leg drive, but I think most people, when they think of leg drive, they think that they just need to stand up almost, and it pushes their ass off the bench, which most of the time when, I was just telling this to somebody earlier today at the vitamin shop, is if you are having to lift your butt up, it's either because your feet are too close and you have too much leverage and you're able to push yourself off the bench. So you're not actually helping yourself, you're hurting it. Or if you can't seem to lift the weight, and most of the time because it's too heavy, but if it's a weight that you can handle and you have to lift your butt in order to get it, it means your shoulders weren't in place to begin with, and you're actually trying to put yourself at an advantage into a decline when if you just set up your shoulders to begin with, you can't go up any higher and you have to press the weight. So you're trying to put yourself into a better pressing position when you should have already been in that position in the first place. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate your support on the 700 bench. I will be at that very, very soon. I am confident. Full power is definitely in its own right, a very tough thing to do when you're trying to push heavy weight with bench to try to do squat and deadlift surrounded by it. But my goal for the next meet is definitely to put up some serious numbers on bench, put my squat and deadlift numbers at a respectable position for myself. My goals, obviously 2100. And then as soon as that meet's over, I am planning on healing up pretty quick if I need to, get anything taken care of body wise, and then racing after that 700 as quickly as possible. What do I think about raising the neck while benching? Helps me keep the bar path consistent, makes me lose tightness some. Okay, the raising your neck should be almost a automatic thing. Don't do it on purpose because it takes more energy. But as your shoulders are rotating, I'll show you guys a side view. Basically, when you're moving your shoulders, they're doing this. So it's natural for your head to want to move in the same plane of motion. If you hold it and you're stiff, it can still move the bar, obviously, but sometimes because you're so tight, your neck is almost attached, if you will, to the motion of the rotation of your shoulders. So it makes you pick your neck up. Now, it should be almost involuntary. If you're doing it on purpose, you're probably wasting more energy because you're thinking about having to do it. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't for me. It's not like it has to do it, but I would not worry about it. If you think you're losing tightness, try to keep your neck down then in that case. At what age does a person start losing strength? Cole, what's up, Cole? Honestly, I can only speak for being a 37-year-old, but I am stronger now than I've ever been in my entire life. And I am stronger now than I would have thought I would have been. Because if you would have asked me at 20 years old, hey, when you're 37, how strong do you think you'll be? Stronger or weaker than you are now? I would have definitely said weaker because you think 37 is old when you're 20. But I see a lot of freaking beasts that are 50 and 60 years old. I think motivation to be the best at to be the best at something that's strength related goes down with age, because I think it's a young man's mentality to be the strongest of everything. When you start getting older, you start kind of seeing things in a different light. Obviously, I'm still in a phase where I want to be the strongest that I want to be, but being as strong as I am doesn't mean jack shit to my kids, to my wife, honestly, to anybody that I really, really care about. They don't give a crap how strong I am. They don't care how much I bench press, how much I lifted today. And now they care because they like that I care about this. But if I was weak, they wouldn't give a shit if I couldn't do what I do. And that's what I value in life, is surrounding myself with that type of person, because they don't see you for who you kind of claim to be, but who you really are. And so, like, my kids see me as a dad. I only care about that. I don't give a crap if they think I'm the strongest guy in the world. Now, that's an added benefit. It's cool to think you're a superhero, but for sake of this argument, basically, do you get stronger with age? I think maturity definitely takes a role, or has a role in being stronger, because now I understand my body a lot more as I get older. So I understand what my limitations are, how I can break those limitations with mature thoughts versus ego. So honestly, I think you get stronger with age to some degree. I mean, obviously, age and body breakdown and things like that can definitely take over. But I don't think it's one size fits all, saying that just because you're getting older that you're getting weaker. I know a lot of freaking beasts that are 20 years older than me. So if that says that I can be this strong or stronger in 20 years, then let's do this. Annette, how much time would it take for you to bench 700 for prep? I guess what you're asking is, when I start aiming for 700 again on bench, how long is the prep? Honestly, I think once squat and deadlift drops back a little bit, my energy levels will literally just skyrocket. So if I dropped off squat and deadlift right now, I could probably bench 700 at the meet, which is in 8 weeks. Because I'm doing squat and deadlift, it definitely takes a toll on me. Shoulders are not quite healed up. My bench day comes around. So bench, I wouldn't go as far as saying a survival, but it's definitely like, well, doing a full meet and doing bench and doing what I'm really good at after I squat what I squat, it literally feels like you're having to, let's say, do 10 40-yard dashes at full speed before you actually test your 40-yard dash in front of the NFL scouts. You're not 100%. You feel like maybe you're a little bit warm, but you're tired. And so you've definitely gassed out yourself before you're ready for the next event. So it's a marathon that you're really thinking is, or a triathlon. You don't go balls out on the freaking run when you got to do a swim. And then you don't go balls out on the swim because you still have to do your bike. So it's a very challenging concept to kind of think, okay, I want to go 100% on my squat. I want to put out some freaking amazing numbers because I know I can, but then I've got to be like smart to save some energy for my bench. Then I've got to also think, well, on deadlift, I want to have a little bit of energy for that as well, even though it's a little bit more mental lift. You can not have to preserve as much energy for that. It's not like just doing a deadlift only meet where you can go in there and just pull whatever the hell you want to pull and pretty much go for one rep, boom, get your max out of the way. It's very strategic, and that's something that's it's hard to swallow because you want to just go all out on everything, but that's how you bomb out. So we'll see what happens. I would say November is going to be my next bench only meet. So that'll give me what, August, September, October, November, about 3 months or so of bench only training. And I'll still do squat and deadlift very, very light. I probably won't go much over 500 on those, but I will get that 700 bench taken care of. I have no doubt. I was so freaking close to it in February. There's no regrets for what I did. Some people will say, you had 690. If you would you have taken it? And no, because how many times can you say that you held 700 in your hands in actual competition, in a credible competition? And the number of those people are very few on this planet. So that is a very cool club to be in. Not to mention that I'm the type of lifter that I'm like, I'll just get it next time. I know you can't always, tomorrow's not ever promised, but you live that way all the time, then you'll never take chances. And so I think chances are what make life, worth living. What we got here? Frank, shoot off my missile at your dunny door like a Kim Jong Un with roid rage. Can you speak English? Considering everybody else is asking questions in English, I know you're trying to troll, but I mean, if you're gonna make an insult, at least make it in English. Do you add in pin press on heavy bench? Sometimes I do, but yes, if I'm gonna do pin press, I do it after heavy bench. Leg drive isn't important as people think. Absolutely, I agree. What's your opinion on lifts generally considered elite, natural lifters, body weight ratio? Oh, I have no idea, man. It's so diverse. I mean, I think, okay, so when we're talking, let me make sure, considered generally elite for natural lifters. I mean, if you can bench press 300 to 400 pounds, I think you're in a class of your own among men. Now, when you're talking about classes, federations, you start getting crazy. But I think if you can deadlift 500 pounds and you can squat 500 pounds and you can bench 350 to 400, you're in a pretty elite class of your own. Now, with that said, there's guys that can do a lot more than that, but they're dime a dozen or once in a blue moon. They're the types to do that. I think the bell curve. There's a lot of people that would love to be in that position that won't ever be, and they're the strongest of the strong. I'll never squat 1,000. I don't ever see that as even remotely being possible for a couple reasons. One is I don't care for squat that much to add another 300 pounds to my squat with the training involved. I don't have the passion for it. I'll be straight up honest. I'll never bench 1,000. So there's just certain levels, but being able to, I remember when I did 300 the first time, and I was like 180 pounds when I did it. I was on top of the world. I didn't know anybody around me that could do that. I know there's other people, and obviously when you go to certain gyms, you can see people lifting it, but it's not common. It's not commonplace to just walk in and have 25 people raise their hand. Just not going to happen. So same thing with squat. How many people in this room? You walk into a gym, any Gold's gym, and say, how many people in here can squat 500 ass to grass? I don't think there's going to be that many people that raise their hand. Same thing with deadlift. So that's kind of the way I think about things. Uh, how can I prevent knee pain and hip flexor pain on the squat? Well, for one, always, always, always warm up properly, and I mean warm up for yourself. Make sure that you are warm. So, no, no, no. Make sure that if you don't have knee sleeves, get some. I think they're great for keeping your joint pain down, especially in the knee. I never, ever, 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 ever have knee problems whatsoever. I played football for a few years, pretty rough, had my MCL torn. I do not have knee problems at all. So, if you're prone to having knee problems, take care of that problem by wearing some knee sleeves. Don't wear those little knee wraps. Don't wrap your knees all loose and crap like that. Knee wraps are for competition, for heavyweight. Don't wear knee wraps if you're going to just put them on like a sock. They're not meant for that. I see guys at these freaking Globo gyms, and they walk in, and most of the time they're just older guys that have bad knees. Well, they wrap their knees up, but they're just literally just wrapping it like wrapping paper. They're not even tightening down. Wear some knee sleeves. They're easy to put on. They keep your knees warm. You're going to give you just the amount of support that you need, but you can still work the weight. Hip flexor issues. I like to use a band, and I like to just sit down with my knees probably about a foot apart. Just sit down like you're sitting in a chair, and put a band around your knees, and just basically open your knees up, and just flex on that resistance band, and it really does open those hip flexors up. You even do some squats like that, just where you open your knees a little bit wider, just to pull that band. That really helps my hip flexors quite a bit. I also roll on a PVC pipe before and after workouts, sometimes even during the sets, just to roll out the IT band, the hamstrings, the quads, keep everything moving. So that's some things you can think about. Yes, Jared, I am definitely trying to break the full meet world record, which is Ted Arcidi's 666 in a full meet. Now, from what I've heard, and this is through the grapevine, I don't really care either way because I'm just going to do it the way I'm going to do it. Is the full meet record was done with a token squat and a token deadlift, meaning he went in there and probably did like 300 squat, 300 deadlift, and then bench 666. I'm going to go in there and bench, 666 after probably a 700 squat and then a 750 or so deadlift. That's just for my own personal satisfaction to know that I put everything in balls to the wall. Know that if the record is set by me, that it's not a token lift at all. There's no question about it. Done an incredible federation, boss of bosses. So that's kind of the plan. Obviously, 308 weight class is 666. The 275 weight class is 650. So we'll see what happens. Have I ever experienced calf pain during squats? I have not. I've gotten some calf cramps, and I just got to work those out. See where we're at. How do I prevent knee pain? Okay, sorry. I'm reading over. Annette. Yeah, okay. So Annette said Ray Williams did a great video on that. So maybe check that out. 720 bench is like squatting 1,000 pounds. All right, I agree. save the YouTube comments. Save the trolling for his YouTube comments. Yes, please. I want other people to answer for me there. Cole, stuck at 585. How do I get to 600? Well, change up something. So you've been stuck at 585 for a while. I know you went up. You were at the 540s, went to 550 and 60. So depending on what your training looks like, you probably just need to either throw some extra accessories towards it, or maybe get some more rest and recovery. I don't know how heavy you're training on a typical basis, but anybody that I've had, and I work with about 3 guys right now that are over 600. When they started coming to me, they were either 550 or right at 600. They're trying to break it. And because of my experience of also being that person that was trying to break 600, I know exactly what it's like and what the mental anguish is, because you're so freaking close to that number. And sometimes it is just a mental block. With me, it was half mental block, half training. But when I started working with Josh Bryant, I said, look, here's, obviously I know that I have the potential to go heavy on this. I'm not even scratching the surface. I don't feel banged up. I just am not doing something right. And so we stripped everything down. We broke form down. We broke the workouts down. And literally, that's what you got to do. You got to figure out, okay, what are you doing right now that isn't working? Strip that away. Do replace it with something that is working. But everybody that I've worked with, basically what we did is we broke down and we started doing more of we got away from benching heavy and we went down to, for example, like 585, we went down to like the 405s for reps, 450s for reps, for sets of that, and then doing a lot of accessory work. And we did this for about 6 months, and we worked our ways up, worked our way up to about 500 for 520 for a few, 550 for some. Well, at that point, when you're repping 550, your bench should be over 600, especially when you prep and peak for a meet. And then your confidence level goes through the roof, because when you're opening at 560, because you can rep 550 for several reps, 560 is nothing. And so when you get that opener out of the way, then you're excited. You come back, you hit a second attempt at like 585, 589. You smoke that, you get a PR. Then you come back in for 600 or even 606, because it's easier to hit 606 than 600 because it's not a mental barrier. I've had a couple guys just smash through 600 like that. Now we're working on, well, obviously you go through 600, let's 650. We'll slow down. Let's go, 620, 630, 640, kind of go, 639. But definitely look at what you're doing training wise and probably switch something up. What is my best 40-yard dash time? I have done a 4.5 at a lower body weight, but the one that I'm most proud of is being 302 pounds, and I did a 4.69. That was in 2010. But obviously I've done faster. I've done the 4.5, but because it wasn't official, it was a stopwatch. It could have been a 4.6, but an official 4.69 was done at 302 pounds at the Indianapolis Combine in Indiana. So that's the one I'm most proud about, because it was done in front of the NFL scouts. So that was pretty cool. Marcus Freeman, what was your? I don't count calories. I really don't. If I had to guess, anywhere from 8 to 10,000 calories a day is probably average. I mean, some days I dip a little below that, and I might go, to 7,000. Some days I might be at 15,000, depending on what I ate. But on average, I would say between 8 and 10. I'm definitely, if somebody asked me earlier if I'm in a caloric surplus, and I would say yes, probably slightly. But it can vary. Some days that may not be the case because training is up. I know that my base calorie burn is like 4,400 minimum just to stay at my weight. That's not even considering the training that I do, 4 hours a day sometimes, that burns off so many extra calories. So I am not even sure. And I really could care less because I go off a feel. Pinch grip work that I do. Greg. Okay, so the pinch grip work that I do is typically at the end of the week. Yes, I have it today. And it's done to work on my grip. Not so much the grip in my whole hand, because I'm pretty I don't have problems with grip, but I don't want to have problems with grip. So the first finger that typically will slip is my pinky, because that's the weakest one. And then the next one obviously is my ring. So if I start to slip, it's going to be like that. So I strengthen up all of this here and all this back here, and actually it works into here by doing plate work. And so I'll hold like a 10-pound plate between my pinky and my thumb, and I'll hold it for 15, 20 seconds at a time. Then I'll do these two fingers, ring finger and thumb, for 15, 20 seconds at a time. And you're literally just pressing that plate in order for it not to slip out of your fingers. It's painful. because, excuse me, I'm yawning here. It's painful because it's just awkward and it's almost impossible to hold on to sometimes because the plates that I'm using are rubber, or sometimes they're, I put chalk on them. Try to do what I can to keep the grip there, but honestly, it helps quite a bit because when I'm actually deadlifting, I do not feel any slippage whatsoever in those fingers. So, and of course, no slippage means that I'm not going to have torn calluses. Now, occasionally it'll happen, but my finger strength has gotten really, really strong with grip, and it doesn't take a lot of sets. I do 2 sets of two, one for two for my ring on one hand, two for my pinky on one hand, one on the other hand. So like what, a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 sets total, and it takes maybe 5 minutes total. And it's very, very beneficial. It's a specificity type workout. It works on the grip. All right, so I answered that question about the middle finger. How long is my arm? Asking for a friend. Let me go ahead and get a tape measure. Pretty sure my grip is like 20, or my reach is 23 inches. So tape measure. I'm assuming you mean for like bench. So let's just measure it out, see how close we can get to it. That's 20. That's about 30. From here out is 30. So 30 inches there. Now, obviously, when I'm benching, I'm about right here. So if I measure that, a lot of people think I'm joking when I grab that bar. It's 23 inches right there. 23. So when I say my range of motion is 23 inches, I'm not freaking lying. And my grip is about right here. It's hard to see, but basically that's my grip, which is right at 19 inches. So that's my typical grip, and my range of motion is about 23 inches every time I bench. It works for me. You can say, well, if you had a 4-inch range of motion, you could bench more, but that's not always the case. It's what works for you, how you can utilize your own leverages. Oh, you know what? I haven't done in a while. Not that I care too much, but everybody cares about this. Is what the bicep is. What's the bicep? Oh, this is stupid. Whatever. 20. We're sitting at 20 right now. Big deal. Not like big bicep equals big bench. Let me see what we got here. Almost time for workout. Have bad knees. What other way can you build your legs? Like I said earlier, I'm not sure if I answered your question about that, but get you some knee sleeves. It definitely will give you some support. If you get tighter ones, you can get more support out of them. Try that and just don't go as heavy and try to build up the strength first. Because if you're sitting there, and of course your form has to be spot on too. If your form's bad, your knees are going to just go to shit because you're hurting your knees. But you can do a couple different things where I actually find a lot of relief if, not that I don't have knee problems, but if I feel that my knees are giving me issues, tightness or whatever, that going ass to grass feels better than going high. And this was back when I was having some knee issues when I had the MCL tear and I was trying to build things back up. I was obviously scared to go lower. As I went lower, though, I felt like there's a general misconception about if you squat deep that it hurts your knees. It's actually false. It makes it feel better. But do it light. Don't go heavy. If your if your squat is 300, don't go squatting 300 just to see if your knees are going to feel good. Break that down to like 135 for a set of 10. Do three times. And the next week, maybe go 140. Just work on some reps versus heavy, and let those stabilizer muscles and your ligaments and tendons build up so that they help hold all that together, because that's going to help you in the long run. Another thing is if it's joint pain or arthritis, get on a joint supplements. Flex is from Animal. You get some glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, hyaluronic acid is typically in it, and it makes those joints feel pretty good after about 30 days of taking it. Broseph, where do you let the bar sit in bench press when at the bottom of the lift? Typically, it sits right above the nipple. So I'm typically putting the bar about right here. That works for me quite well. Sometimes I get out of the groove and hit a little lower, a little higher, and then I pay the price for that. But for me, that works perfect. But do what works for you. Everybody's arms are a little different too, so it might land that bar slightly different. What's your opinion on sumo deadlifts and why does it get so much hate? I think it just gets a lot of hate, just like the arch benches do. I mean, if you look at I think honestly, sumo is harder for myself. It just puts me in a real weird spot. But at the same time, um, when you do conventional, that can also be pretty tough too because if you're not using leverages, it's more strength. Just like close grip bench versus a wider grip bench and no arch versus an arch, there can be, depending on who you're talking about, it could be harder for one person or another. At the end of the day, it's fun to make fun of people that are doing things that look weird. They get set up weird, and we all can laugh and have a good laugh at it as long as it's not, malicious. I think we all get caught up a little bit too much where we get like a mob and we start laughing at one person because they failed to lift or whatever. Sure, it's funny, but then you move on, you laugh, and you have to be able to take a punch to give one. But honestly, I could care less if somebody sumos, does a freaking arch, does a bench shirt, does not a shirt, does wraps, does no wraps. At the end of the day, we're all just people trying to have fun in a hobby that probably doesn't pay you because it doesn't pay me. And at the end of the day, if somebody wants to do sumo next to me and they want to pull 700 and I want to come over here and pull 700 conventional and within the day go have a freaking beer. I'm not drinking a beer, but I'll drink whiskey, whatever, water. I don't care. I really don't care. I think there's too much bullshit hate going around the world. But you can't compare two lifts identically. They just don't happen. Like you can't say that this lift's better than that lift because it was done, this way and that one was done that way. You have to realize it's just not that simple. For to say Dan Green pulling 900 conventional with straps, obviously straps are going to give you a grip, but hook grip is hard as hell. So if you're pulling hook grip and you're doing sumo and you can pull 900 and you do conventional with straps, obviously I would say the hook grip is probably more impressive, but who cares? It's freaking 900 pounds. Now, when you're talking about competition, obviously you can't have straps. There's different levels of understanding about the lift. But when you have strong men who pull 1,000 pounds with straps, you cannot compare that to powerlifting where there's no straps, over under grip, sumo, blah blah blah. Let's see. What's the best way to gain weight without getting really fat? Eat clean. Eat clean, Anthony. Eat chicken, rice. Don't eat a bunch of processed foods. Don't eat a bunch of sugar and fried. I know it sounds sucky and it's going to take you longer to gain weight, but that's what it takes to not get fat. Obviously, keep your cardio levels up, your heart rate, train with some weight. That way, if you want to have a little extra muscle mass to help you burn off the extra calories, but just watch what you eat and make it good. Opinion on pendulay rows versus standard barbell rows. Well, they're basically the same thing. Now, depending on, you're talking about head supported, there's seal rows, there's standing rows, barbell rows. I think they're all great for back, and I do them. So, Greg, thanks for the streams. They help, and you honestly motivate the hell out of me to become the best I can be in the weight room. Good. I appreciate that feedback, Greg. I mean, not to be cheesy, I recognize that I am in a position with my strength and then just the reach that I have. I mean, hell, I've got 5,300 subscribers on YouTube, which is not as much as some of these other channels, but honestly, it was at six. I had like 300 subscribers, I think, in January. So I've literally grown the channel to 5,000 more in about 6 months. My Instagram, I remember when I had 60 followers, and this was probably a couple years back. I remember Leroy Walker making fun of me, saying, you only have 60 followers, and let's have this conversation on my Instagram where I have 20,000, and we'll have more people that can chime in on the conversation. And 2 years later, I've got 22,000 followers on Instagram, 5,000 on YouTube, and um, several thousand on Facebook. So at the end of the day, you guys want to hear what I have to say, and that's humbling. So I don't want to take advantage of that and give you guys bad information. I am the type of person that after powerlifting, I will go on to something else. I will probably stay with powerlifting for a very long time, and I'll more than likely I will have a hand in powerlifting for the rest of my life because I've now become kind of a spokesperson, if you will, for bench press. And that's very cool because I did not see that coming. I remember looking up on YouTube and seeing uh, some of the greats that even still compete: Jeremy Hornstra, Eric Spoto, Scott Mendelson, Ryan Kennelly, um, Tiny Meeker. I remember seeing all these guys, and there's a lot more to name, but I remember seeing these lifts, and I remember when I was coming up, didn't even know where I was going to end up. Still don't, but I remember seeing, okay, this guy did 500 for X number of reps, and I was doing 500 for 3, and I was like, oh, that's cool. There's something better to reach for. Let me try to do 5. And then I would do 5, and I would think, okay, this guy did it for 12. Jesus Christ, how do I get to that level? And not that I had to be at that level. It just kept me motivated. It kept me driving for something else, knowing that I wasn't the best and I could be better. And I think everybody needs that because if you're at the top by yourself, it's pretty lonely. But there's always somebody you can look to or something you can look to. Maybe not in your sport or in your discipline, but somebody in somewhere in life that you can look at and go, okay, I'm going to bounce ideas off of. I want to be motivated by this person. Let's drive each other. And so I've always been that way because not only do I have a very successful web design firm, but I have a very wonderful family that keeps me grounded. 3 beautiful kids and a wife that if ever powerlifting didn't work out, I wouldn't lose a lot of sleep over because I have a lot of things I can fall back on. And I strive to be the best at everything I can because I'm naturally a competitor. I know that a lot of people are not naturally driven that way, and that's okay. But I also think it's a responsibility of people who are driven to kind of help motivate those who are not. And those who are motivated and are the type to be driven need others like them to bounce ideas off of and to basically just solidify that it's okay to be that way. It's nice to have a group. It's nice to have a homeboy or a bro or whatever you want to call it that's just there that you can say, man, I'm trying to break 400 on bench, and this is badass. If I can do this, what do you think about this? And for somebody just to give you that support, even if it's not in person or a training partner, it's I think that's just it makes the world go round a little bit better. So thank you for that. I definitely thank you for that, Greg. I do not claim to be the biggest and baddest or the strongest or anything like that. Of course, I'm not because there's obviously numbers that I haven't hit yet that other people have. But I also know that there's more to life than lifting weights. Um, it would not be the end of the world if I was driving to the weight room today and I found out that I could never lift weights again. It would suck. I wouldn't like it. I would want to fight it and I would try to fight it. But at the end of the day, if I couldn't and just that was just the end of it, then I would just direct my energies to something else and I could be completely satisfied and happy with that. So my message to you guys is who gives a shit how much weight you lift unless you can lift others up? I don't give a crap if somebody can bench press 900 pounds raw, without a shirt, any time of the day, without a warm up. if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. And sure, you're going to have friends that are going to like you. They're going to follow you because you lift a lot of weight. But at the end of the day, they're not going to help you start your car if you break down. They're not going to lend you money if you need it. They're not going to be there for your, they're not going to truly be your friend. And so there's more to life than that. And I don't mean to get all sappy and everything, but that's what makes me know that there's more to lifting. I'm not going to risk everything just to put up a number if it's going to sacrifice something that is true to my heart more than lifting is. Not that, if you're that type and lifting is everything you are and that's literally everything you have in life, then put everything into it. Put that all out there. But I'm not that way. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm, going to just sacrifice everything in order to put the biggest number up on the board. If that means that I fall short of goals, then that just means I fall short of goals, because those goals really aren't worth it to me to sacrifice that much. But at least I understand that, and I'm true to myself, and I know that I'm willing to put a limit on certain things. And I just think that's a more responsible way to go about living my own life. But all right, end of my soapbox. I'm gonna get on to you guys' questions because I'm sure I'm gonna have to leave for work out here in a little bit. All right. How tall am I? I am 6'1". You're one of the strongest benchers on the planet. Thanks for these videos. Help me out a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very humbled. It's definitely cool to be able to walk into a room and pretty much know that you're probably the baddest bencher in the room. Now, once again, it's just benching. Squatting, I'm still working on. Deadlift, I'm still working on. But it is very cool to know you're one of very few people that walk the planet. I don't even know how to put that into words. I never thought that would be the case. It's cool to see my name up there with people that I still look up to that are right above me or even below me. That's just crazy to see, somebody like Ed Cohen, obviously he's the greatest power of all time. 560 or so bench, 570 bench in competition. Mind you, at a lower weight class and all that, but just to know some of the Ted Arcidi, Glenn Cabot, just guys that have really shaken the powerlifting and bench press world to the core during their times, are, I don't want to say in a disrespectful way, but they're in the rear view mirror, and that's cool. That's what keeps me going. Okay, well, who's next? Who can I come up and get on their level, and not to put them out, but to get on their level so that I can say that I'm standing on a mountain peak that they've once been on or higher. That's just cool. Honestly, I used to hate bench press since programs has been painfully slow, but when I discovered your channel, it was just a serious wake-up call for myself, so thank you. Absolutely, Greg. Once again, thank you. And I don't have any more questions, so I'm going to put a shameless plug in for my website, benchonly.com. I have my bench press t-shirts. My raw bench press shirt is definitely a hot seller. I'm definitely taking a stab at equipped benchers, but nothing but love. I just know that a lot of people like to show their loyalty to raw versus equipped, and so I put my raw bench press shirts out there, and people like it. I have my online programming, my bench press programming. Like I said earlier, it's on sale for the 4th of July, which is obviously past. So it will be taken down in about 10 minutes or so after I end this live. But my 24-week program is going for 60 or 80 bucks right now, which is normally 99. Excuse me. My 16-week bench program is going for 60 bucks, and it's normally $75. And that will get you basically the 16-week program is a hypertrophy and the strength phase, 3-day split. The 24-week is the same thing, except for it adds an 8-week peaking phase. I have had results from hundreds of guys, most of the time adding 20 to 30 pounds to their bench with the 16-week. The 24-week has just started, so I've only gotten like 3 people that have finished it. And most of them have repped out like a 1-rep max that has been 30 to 40 pounds more. Now, mind you, most of these guys are 300-pound, 400-pound benchers, I do have a few guys that are in the 500 club that have rolled in some of their numbers, and anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds is about average on them. I do have actually the highest that I have on my program, I want to say, is a 550 bencher, and I have yet to get his results yet, but we'll find out pretty soon. But it's very easily followed by anybody that has barbell, dumbbell access. Any gym pretty much has it. The dumbbells don't go up too heavy. Most of the barbell work will go up as necessary, but depending on what your max is. But that's too many. You need to split that up with Matt. But feel free to check those programs out, benchonly.com/training, or you can just go to the homepage and click on coaching and programs. I do have my online coaching. It's available. I do have a few spots here and there that will open up. So if you want to hit me up, maybe what your goals are, see if maybe I can fit you in, just depending. I don't want to just work with anybody. No offense. I want to make sure that you guys are serious, that you're willing to put in the work, because I will give you my all. That includes, video review and one-on-one communication with me. And so definitely I can't just take every single person on because I'd never have any time to do anything else. But I definitely would love to help you guys out. And, that can be bench only, that can be full power, deadlift and squat, help you guys reach your next goal. So we got question wise, Weston, have state games, then have state games, then going to buy your bench program. Hopefully get me over 500, 220 body weight. Cool. I'll take a look. Let me know, Weston. Literally, if you can do it now, I don't know how long that is going to be, but like I said, 20% off right now. I'm literally going to go change it on the website, and then I'm going to hit up my workout. So I won't be able to go in there and change stuff around. So if you can get it now, I would do it. You just plug in your max, pay with PayPal, and you're done. And I'll send it to you by the end of the day. I'd hate for you to have to pay extra if you're going to still do it today, anyways. But all right, so I'm going to end this up. Like always, I appreciate every single one of you. Don't think there's a question, as long as it's not trolling me, that I won't answer. I am open to suggestions about new videos. I'm going to be doing some how-to stuff, like how to set up on bench. I like to put it out there that this is how I set up on bench. It's not how I recommend or you have to set up. How I warm up. Obviously, I put my shoulder exercises out there. If you do it and it hurts you or it doesn't help you, then don't do it. It helps me. It hurts, some others. Then it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means it's probably not for you. But I try to put up information that is definitely unbiased, that works for me, that I can definitely stand behind. You'll never see me put my name on a product or a service or a suggestion that I don't fully stand behind. I would never want to put any kind of information out there like that, because at the end of the day, even though this is done online, it's kind of anonymous. You guys don't know me. I don't know you, kind of thing. I would never want you to show up at a show, and meet me and say, "Hey, remember that suggestion you gave me? It hurt me." That would suck, because now, it's real. And I don't think people realize online, they think it's, you're hiding behind a computer. I will tell you on here, just like if you showed up at the gym that I'm at this afternoon and asked me a question, I'll tell you the exact same answer. There's no smoke being blown up your butt. There's no Brad Castleberry crap going on. Sorry, I had to throw him under the bus, but everything you see with me is real. It's not fake. I will not fake jack shit, because I don't need to. I don't have to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to come back and cover my ass 10 years from now and say, well, oops, sorry, I gave you bad information. I'm going to tell you, just like I'm going to tell my friend, whatever helps me, hopefully it can help you. You decipher if it can or cannot. I am tired of the fakeness that online social media brings. If it means that I get less followers in the same amount of time that somebody who could be over dramatic and showy and flashy and entertaining, because I'm not doing certain things with my lifting, then so be it. But at the end of the day, I get why some of those guys do it to make money, and that's good. But there's also bad information that's being put out about training heavy bench every day. It's not a good thing. Training heavy squat every single day, not a good thing. Never resting and recovering, not a good thing. Eating junk food all the time, never taking care of your body, never taking good supplements, taking steroids that you just don't know what you're putting in your body. There's all sorts of information out there that you would think that common sense would help most people to decipher that, but it's not the case. There's people that will literally take, if you have a million followers, people will literally listen to that and take whatever they're saying as the gospel. And that's sad. So my best effort at combating that is to just be real, tell you guys what I think. If you guys have questions and you don't want to comment, or you don't want to, have it public and you want to ask me personally, shoot me an email, swimhack@gmail.com. But I will end this video here. Sorry if I missed any questions. I try to get to them all. If I missed it and it's important to you, definitely shoot me an email. You can find all my contact information at bencholnly.com. Also, please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and see you guys later.